everyone. Welcome to the Near Fall podcast on GSHSW.com. Donald J. Brower here. We are ready and getting ready for sectionals. We're pretty close to the end here, but we still got a little time left. I'm glad you can join us for a recap of last week and some of the stuff we're doing. And if you have a time and you want to go help out with our sponsors, we got a couple great ones, and you've heard them all year. We'll say them again. Champion Athlete Sports Nutrition, Dan Warnikoff. Your body is like a car. No matter what you do, how nice you make it look, you got to get the right fuel. Dan Warnikoff, Champion Athletes, will give you a list, not a little box plan, nothing like that. You go, you can make the food. The family all enjoys it. He will help you get better. He'll help you have the energy to keep going. Dan Warnikoff, Champion Athletes. Apex Wrestling School. 3 locations in New Jersey, 1 in New York. Michigan teammates Damian Logan and Dane Tabano, one of the fastest growing schools in the area, nationally ranked wrestlers all around. Apex Wrestling. The Harrington Companies, Harrington Demolition and Recycling, Harrington Construction, Hoffman Landscaping. Big supporters of what we do, and they're a wrestling family, so they understand the grind. Give them a call if you want to make improvements around the area. Forum Coffee, redefining the New Jersey coffee experience. Forum Coffee is the official coffee of GSHSW.com. And Performance Trophies. I'm sure you've seen their Hammer of the Match videos we put up after every match. They're our official Hammer of the Match sponsor. I think I ever said that, but we'll say it again. Conveniently located at 236 South Salem Street in Randolph, right off of Route 10, honoring achievements one award at a time. Now, we had a interesting week last week. Couple great matchups and some closer matchups. We were on the 4th. We were at Mendham for the rivalry match between the sister schools. West Morris won 53-23. It's a little closer in the beginning. West Morris has a little more depth. They pulled away there, and you kind of realize West Morris is a deeper team with some of the wrestlers they had go out. But Mendham put up a hell of a fight, and it was a big night for Coach O'Brien's family, raising money for his wife, who's unfortunately battling cancer. He had to step away this year, but he'll be back. And I was honored to be able to cover that. Then the next night, we made the trip to Mount Olive. Mount Olive won 47-12 over Montville. A really great boys match. Also, but earlier before, it was Mount Olive girls. It was sort of like a jamboree style match versus Montville's girls and Cliffside Park. So very good. I'm sorry, Hillsborough. I apologize. Got to see a lot of action there, and then the JV. So that was a good night for us on the 5th. And then on the 7th, it's probably had to be one of the best matches I've seen within the last couple of years. Very close to the end. Ups and downs. Gym was packed. Student sections going back and forth. I don't think there were people sitting down. That's how packed this gym was. Morris Knowles wins 31-28. They win on a pin by Lucas Nagua, the heavyweight, in the second period. They were down 28-25 going in. They pull out the win. You could see going into heavyweight, there were a few of the Knowles wrestlers and families kind of concerned. So when he got the deep half and rolled them over, the place erupted. You can watch all 3 of those matches on our YouTube channel, GSHSW.com. In regards to the rankings, not really too much change in Essex as far as who we have where. These are pretty much set because obviously, next week's going to be sectionals. We're going to be focused a lot on that. We're going to be doing a bunch of stuff with sectionals. Other matches will be picked up here and there, so we're going to update the schedules as they go. But this is kind of, I like to call it the potluck week, because you'll have teams who go farther in sectionals, so they have to cancel matches, or don't go as far and have to try to pick up some matches so they don't have a long break. So we'll try to do the best we can with our schedules, but stuff can change daily. But as far as any change in Essex, it's still Bloomfield 10, St. Benedict's 9, Nutley 8, Cedar Grove 7, Livingston 6, North East Side 5, Columbia 4, West Essex 3, Seton Hall Prep 2, and Caldwell 1. That's pretty much going to kind of be how I think it shakes out for the year. That'll probably be locked in. Big movement in Passaic County. My biggest mover has to be Manchester, who jumped up to number 5 after knocking off Pompton Lakes and their appearance in the NJIC Championship. So for Passaic, it's DePaul number 10, West Milford 9, Wayne Hills 8, Lakeland 7, Pompton Lake 6, Manchester 5, Clifton 4, and I debated that Manchester Clifton. There was a common opponent that Clifton beat better, more handily, so that's why I broke the tie there. And then the top 3, Passaic Valley 3, PCTI 2, and Wayne Valley 1. Excuse me. In the HWS, we have 2 teams who make their debut who slowly but surely put together really good campaigns. We have Newton at 10, Lenape Valley at 9, Hackettstown at 8, Kittatinny at 7, Warren Hills at 6, Pope John at 5, High Point at 4, Del Valle at 3, Peaburg at 2, North Hunterdon at 1. The biggest change, obviously, for Morris is towards the back end. Morris Hills jumps into the poll, and I moved them over Mendham due to the results of the common opponent, which was Morris Knolls. Morris Hills was there till the last bat. Mendham lost handily. So number 10 is Mendham, 9 is Morris Hills, 8 is Morristown, 7 is Roxbury, 6 is Montville, 5 is Morris Knolls, 4 is West Morris, 3 is Hanover Park, 2 is Mount Olive, 1 is Del Barton. I think that kind of shakes out Morris for the most part, unless there's a surprise or something in the sectionals. What's no surprise is who our wrestlers of the week are. For the boys, somebody under consideration. Congratulations, Gage Graziano from Lenape Valley getting 100 wins. But you set a school record, you're my wrestler of the week. Ryan Langenmayr from Lakeland set the school wins record. A kid who had options in 8th grade. He could have went to pretty much any private school in the area and done great. Stayed at home. Wanted to be that kid who's on the wall and in the program. He's done that. Congratulations, Ryan Langenmayr. And on the girls' side, I usually hate nominating and putting up 2 teammates back to back, but when you do something huge, I got to go with it. Rowan Waite from Vernon. She had a big win bumping up to 185, helping Vernon knock off number 2 Newton. And, she went up and pinned a girl who she had lost to early in the season. So you show that heart, you show that dedication. You're my girls wrestler of the week. Now, as we said, this week is sectionals. The way it's going to work, if you're new to sectionals, is there will be 4 teams meeting Monday night. So, for example, at PCTI, which is North 1 Group 5, on one mat, Passaic and PCTI will wrestle. On the other mat, Bloomfield and Morristown will wrestle. Whoever wins those matches will wrestle in the semifinals right after. The winner of that will advance to Wednesday at whatever higher seed is left amongst the 2. If you win there, you move on to groups, which power points will determine where you're at in your seeding. You'll have the group semis, and then on Sunday at Rutgers, weather permitting, obviously weather permitting this week, we're expecting a couple storms. We'll see if that changed anything. The championships will be held at Rutgers. So, North 1 Group 5 at PCTI, Passaic versus PCTI, and Bloomfield versus Morristown. On the other side of the bracket, at Livingston, we have West Orange versus Livingston and North Bergen versus Clifton. Heading down to North 1 Group 4, at Phillipsburg versus Leonia, Morris Knolls versus Northern Highlands. On the other side, Mount Olive, which we will be covering all 3 matches at Mount Olive. Excuse me. Ridge will face Fairlawn on one mat. Mount Olive will face Ridgewood. The winners will meet. And it'll be interesting because you think about it, if it goes the way it is, how they're seated, and Mount Olive meets Ridge. Last year they met on Sunday at Rutgers, and it came down to the last match. Now they're going to be meeting Monday night, most likely. It's going to be insane. And to think about this, a group champion or someone in the group championship from a year ago won't make it to Wednesday, which is insane. Heading down to North 1 Group 3 at Wayne Valley, Montville will face Paramus. Wayne Valley will face Demarest. North 1 Group 2 at High Point versus Lakeland, Westwood versus Jefferson. On the bottom of that bracket, at Passaic Valley, Passaic Hills will face West Milford, Passaic Valley will face Manchester. North 1 Group 1 at Kittatinny will face Boonton, Emerson will face Kinnaman. At New Milford on the bottom of that bracket, Pompton Lakes will face Newton. New Milford will face Butler. For people asking, looking at the schedule, this came out last week, and Pompton Lakes and Newton were actually supposed to wrestle on Thursday, but they decided because they're wrestling here, that will count as their match. So both coaches just decided why wrestle each other twice in 5 days. Heading over to North 2 Group 5 for our coverage area, Columbia will face Elizabeth at Bridgewater, and at Union, Bayonne will face North East Side. North 2 Group 4 at North Hunterdon, Middletown South will face Rowan, North Hunterdon will face Woodbridge. North 2 Group 3 at Cranford, Cranford will wrestle Morris Hills, West Essex will face Roxbury. On the other side of the bracket at South Plainfield, Warren Hills will face Nutley, South Plainfield will face Mendham. North 2 Group 2 at Caldwell, Caldwell face Madison, Hackettstown face Part Hills. And on the other side at West Morris, Governor Livingston will face Bernards, West Morris will face Elmwood Park. North 2 Group 1 at Hanover Park, Hanover Park will face Roselle Park, and Whippany Park will face Secaucus Park. It's Secaucus, but it's just easier to say Secaucus Park. It just kind of fits. I don't know why. Change your name to Secaucus Park. It's so much easier for me. No, it's Secaucus. On the other side of the bracket at Hasbrook Heights versus Belvedere, Cedar Grove versus Rutherford. And then the few representations we have in Central Jersey, Group 5 at Monroe will face Hunterdon Central. A lot of words there, a lot of pronouns. And Central Jersey Group 1, Delval at Delval. Delval will face Shore. Metuchen will face Keensburg. As I said, we are going to be updating the schedule, so we do have some bids in for Wednesday, depending on who advances. So it's going to be a lot of action-packed week and, trying to find out where we're going to be. If you want to find out, follow us on our social medias on Facebook, GardenStateHSWrestling.com, on X, Twitter, GardenStateHSW, on Instagram, GardenStateHSWrestling. Like and subscribe on YouTube. Get notified when we get live. Like I said, we have right now 2 to 3 matches for Wednesday, possibly more. We have some stuff in the works for group semis. Group finals are NJ.com. We'll see what happens there. We'll be down there getting some interviews with people, post-match, stuff like that. And then districts. We're going to be doing some district stuff. We have a couple down the pipe. I think we're looking at 4, maybe 6, depending on, who we have. Excuse me. And then we're looking at some girls regions, some boys regions, and, we'll be doing our nightly blog from states, including, as always, the day after, we're going to have interviews with all medal winners and all champions. So it's just getting started with everything. But we talked about how this season is a sprint, not a marathon. We're the last 100 yards away. Like, this is a dead sprint. And whoever wants it most, it's postseason time. We're here. So if you want to be a sponsor on one of those events, send me an email, admin@GardenStateHSWrestling.com, or click on the Your Logo Here button. We will get the word out about you. We'll turn your cents into major dollars. We're also booking up for next year for live stream and podcasting opportunities, as well as sponsorship, but we'll get to that later. Let's not put the cart before the horse. But for Jared, the podcasting legend, I'm Donald J. Brower. Let's do it.